Do you have any questions for an international where both I'm from North America, but I'm friends with quite a few people from the Netherlands and Germany and Italy and a few other places?
How does the Danes embrace you when you come here?
I think it really varies where, as an extroverted person, I'm quite willing to be a little bit too warm, I guess, for the average person to go, why is this person speaking to me?
Yeah, we don't like that.
Yeah, so I've had to sort of adjust myself a bit more, but also the international friends of mine who are a bit more on the introverted side, they're okay that no one's kind of bothering them initially, but then it can be fairly significantly difficult to kind of grow their network again, because there's not a lot of sort of people meeting halfway in a way. So I think there's some adjustments to make, and I think the more that other internationals can say, hey, you should meet this, you should meet Jens, you should meet Peter, you should meet Mette, all those people who are Danish, that really helps a lot.
Yeah,
and so having these sort of middle people who are already established.
That's probably the Danish way, probably. I imagine.
Sure.
So that kind of jobs, you need to have the language.
Yes, because for example in ours we use no Danish
No.
at all.
Exactly. We don't need Danish. We do
If
everything.
you get children, I'm sure they will learn you to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So they come around
That's
also.
an option. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
But you don't have need to, because you have
No, we
some
don't.
jobs which where
It doesn't require.
Danfoss or
Exactly.
your job in Christianity is not necessary.
No.
no, not at all. But it does, of course, complicate a bit on the understanding, for example, of politics. This is
But
why
if
this
you,
is
you,
very
you can more
important.
than Portuguese, you can also English.
Yes.
And all Danes can speak English.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, but I think it's the availability of information. Either it's in Danish or it's in Danish. There is little information in English.
It's a good point.
And for us, this event, it's
Absolutely
it's
great.
the only time I saw something like this to happen, so that we can do it in English. So that we want to.
How did you see it?
On Facebook?
On Facebook?
Yeah.
On Facebook, on a group where
On English group.
internationals
Yes.
are welcome.
So it's only if people talk, if people are interested, it's by chance that more or less
It is
we are.
very complicated, for example, for me that I've tried really hard to understand the language, but then I don't use it at work. We don't talk at home, of course.
No.
And then whenever we try to use it in coffee shops and everything, people are very kind and they switch to English. So even though I can read it, I don't really understand it on the speaker. So, and sometimes that is perceived like she's been here for 5 years and she doesn't want to talk English. That's not the case. I would love to speak it, but I don't have the opportunity.
Yeah, but you.
Yeah, good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Most
Hello.
welcome.
Yeah, again, I forgot your name.
Arne.
Arne.
Where do you work now?
No, I work at Lego.
Lego?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about here, you know. But also when I moved here, when I used the job, there's
Yeah.
plenty of stuff where
Yeah.
you could go when
Yeah.
that goes wrong. So
So you're playing with bricks day in and day out?
yeah, kind of. No, I'm in the do simulations of the production or manufacturing process. So how the plastic is filled into the forms, the molds.
To
Yeah,
join.
yeah,
I
try
think
to involve
that's
them.
the best way to involve them, and it could even just be. I mean, I don't know how this would go to an extent, but letting people know through companies of like, hey, can we put up a poster just as the commune saying there's this event going on. So
In the election, there's a common election here. For sure, you will see in the papers that an international school in Vejle will be suggested.
Yeah.
That will come for sure. If it's not already, I don't think I have seen it yet, but for sure that will come. And then it will start to grow. And like I said, then we have to look at how many parents are actually here. International, how many kids are here, and then we will start to build up the case.
Yeah.
It will take some years to have it done because things take time. But it's a good way, but what it's a good way for you to do as well is actually, if you can put it on Facebook, we need an international school in Vejle, for example. We have to go to Billund. I have to leave Vejle if it's not possible. Take contact to the big companies, say how can we help you to give us a lot of information here. How many co-workers do they have? How many kids do they have? So it's a lot of work for you as well, so we have to do it combined to make it happen.
this year.
Overly friendly. I still think that in general it's been quite comfortable for me to kind of get used to the flow of first, moving to Kolding, and then even then having to sort of uproot myself, then situate myself in Vejle, about knowing about certain events and sort of where to, situate myself into like a new commune, and like aside from switching yellow cards and things like that, I kind of got into a new routine fairly reliably. So that's been really nice. Yeah.
But isn't it your experience that Canada is a good country to come from when you're in Denmark?
Definitely.
We're easy to relate to Canada because of long-term relations.
Yeah, just the good relations between them certainly stood out. It even got to a point where, and this is such a niche case, maybe this isn't worth recording, but I almost got in trouble at the German airport in Frankfurt, where I didn't have the visa that was sort of necessary, because the relations are a bit easier for some reason between Canada and Denmark, that they're asking for paperwork I just didn't have because it wasn't necessary.
No.
So yeah, aside from that sort of niche things like that, I've definitely felt I've been sort of welcomed by the students who I've met and things like that, and slowly but surely it's taken a little bit more to kind of feel like I'm properly integrating on a sort of city scale and things like that, but I think that just comes with time. So.
This idea. It's a very good idea. It was one of the days we had this idea.
You've never experienced that, I'm sure, in Denmark, but if you go just to the coffee shop and you ask something, and instead of saying how a milk, you say something a little bit on the side, people kind of now I didn't follow, and they kindly change to English. But that is also one of the reasons why it's so difficult for us to use the little Danish we know, because even in those small opportunities we don't use it.
So I don't think it's a question of time. You said people don't have time. It's not a question of people not having time. It's the question of not having the opportunity. Because the work is not in Danish.
And we are happy that it's not in Danish, but of course, I do think that if there's such a big need of people coming, that maybe language shouldn't be prioritized as something that, everyone needs to speak Danish, because most often than not, these international companies won't hire us because we speak Danish. It's exactly the opposite.
Exactly.
So, I for example was looking at a master's in my area, and then it was in English until last year. Now it's not anymore. And then I realized there was a lot of the courses that all of a sudden closed in English. And from what I could read also in the newspaper, there's a tendency to go that way, which completely kind of blindsides us on if we are trying to pull more international people in, why are we all of a sudden pushing them out? Because this pushes.
But the most important for me is that actually that if we are here, we give a little bit back to Denmark, and for sure Denmark will help you back. So that is the main issue for me actually in the integration part. But I do also think, yes, English, do we need more of these classes? Like you said, you can go to a master in English. Of course you have to be able to do that, because otherwise you will not be here.
No, actually, I've completed all of my education in my home country. When I came, I was already with 15 years of experience of work, and this is why I was hired.
Oh, yeah, happy you are here then.
So, we don't really have the need for education. It's just like, let's see what's available, and also to meet more people. It's very difficult to meet people, because either it's very much of an international kind of community, or if we are not parents, then it gets super hard. So it would also be a way to meet more people, but apparently the opposite.
Regarding the schools and having the classes in English, it's a need. We need to have that, because you have a lot of global companies. Right here you have the Lego, you have Fatin up here, you have Danfoss, you have Novo Nordisk, and I could keep on going. And they're really needed for quite educated people with some special skills, and we don't have them in Denmark already, so we have to bring them in here. And you have to create this environment of mixed nationalities, otherwise we'll just be stuck in the same forever.
Exactly.
So to grow through, you have to mix people and to make it happen, yeah.
But I can see that the city have changed in the last 5 to 10 years because nowadays, last 5 years, the restaurants are full all weekend long. People are going out Monday, Tuesday. In the old days, it was just in the weekend. And everybody who goes out Monday, a lot of them speaks English or French or Chinese or something else. That's changed the city, so we have become an international city. And I rather like that because it gives another edge to the city.
Yeah.
And you're probably contributing to that.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
But we are probably not that good to introduce ourselves to people. We like to just sit and roam around.
I think it's just something to adjust to. So that's something to work through. But
what's the biggest differences from Vejle and Canada? What's that strange? What do you think that?
Between Vejle and Canada.
Or Vejle and Vancouver, but
Sure. I think aside from language and being able to sort of strike up a conversation with strangers and things like that,
we have the same amount of rain.
Sure, yeah, same amount of rain, so that's definitely a common ground. I think in terms of how, even just the amount of like poster coverage and sort of like how much people are sort of celebrating and keeping everyone aware of different upcoming events, that is much more vocal than it is in Vejle. Although I would say that, size comparison aside, there's still really excellent celebrations going on around Vejle. Like, I like the fact that there was the Phoenix event that happened not too long ago and things like that. And I was kind of reassuring friends, like, don't forget, it is coming up very, very soon. Like, there's a little bit going on around it.
We had a lot of problems with that because we almost didn't dare to do it. It was the culture department who did it. And we were postponing it, but we wanted to do it because it was very important to have a party.
Sure, and that's understandable in COVID times.
We try to celebrate, but you'd like us to celebrate more.
Sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, and also getting, not only celebrating more, but even just for maintaining the amount of celebrations you have, but rather just getting the word out to the international community as well.
That's probably good.
If we're especially scary extroverted people, we will let other people know.
I believe a lot of the celebrations in a Danish household is going on beyond the four walls of the home.
Sure.
Yeah, that's probably it's probably changing a bit, but we have been quite homebound. We used to be that, but not that much anymore. We're trying to get more parties. So I'll write that down. More parties for you.
I think too, like don't try to stretch yourself completely out of your comfort zone. I mean, as someone who used to do quite a lot of different events going on Sundays and things like that, I've sort of definitely come to appreciate like the Hygge lifestyle on Sunday, where everything's a little bit more mellow and you can kind of actually get around to everything you've been kind of putting off for the rest of the week.
And watch the local team lose in football.
Sure. Whatever it may be.
Yeah. But I can understand what we believe will be we have increased the celebrations actually a lot lately. But it's interesting to hear your take on that. Actually, we get complaints sometimes, but we do too much. So.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some correct level of what it may be.
But I like that. As chairman of the culture committee, I would like more celebrations. So I'll put that input now. That's cool. Okay.